Addie and Merritt, this is my graduation present to you. This is like my little love letter of ballsy movements and tips and mindset stuff that I wanted to put together so that you have at your fingertips anytime you need it, whether you're having a hard day, whether you're having a great day, whether you need kind of like a reset, whether you need to be reminded of what ballsy women you are. And sometimes that looks like just getting out of bed and just showing up with whatever you've got that day. This is not about perfectionism, this life. This is not about having to do these videos all the time and then add one more thing to your list. This is just your toolbox for when you need a spark, for when you need to be reminded how great you are, when you need a little tip or a trick to kind of snap you into whatever mindset you need. I love you both, and I am so freaking proud of you. All that you've been through to get to this point, the hard stuff, the amazing stuff, the great moments, the shitty stuff, it's all makes you who you are. And we don't become these great things despite the shitty stuff, but in fact, it's all part of it. It's like because of it. So I just want to be there with you guys. And so I'm giving you a video that you can click with a little table of contents of my love letter, of a toolbox of ballsy mindset tips and tricks and physical and mental. And here we go. I love you girls. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on everything that has gotten you to this point. And I'm excited for what's to come. Here we go. All right, girls, these are my favorite mindset tricks that I'm going to list out for you, for your toolbox, if they resonate with you. I've had to use these to kind of start to pull myself out of some pretty deep rabbit holes in life. And this definitely helps change the way you talk to yourself in your brain, because we all know that we can be our own worst critic. And when we do that, we create a little bit of cortisol, which is that stress chemical in our brain. And so when you talk to yourself nicely and kind of make it a habit, and you're not mean to yourself, it really helps kind of lift you up and take you out of that sort of brain spiral. So first thing I suggest, when you wake up in the morning, when you're brushing your teeth, whatever, like in the mirror, I want you to pause and I want you to look at yourself. This takes 5 seconds, and look yourself in your eyes. Look at yourself like I'm looking at you, and like you would look at a friend. And I want you to say to yourself, you're doing a good job. You've got this. And I just want you to let that land, because science and research shows that when you say it out loud, you have to say it out loud while you look at yourself. It takes a second. And it really does something great to the chemicals in your brain. It gives you a little bit of dopamine and a little bit of oxytocin, which are the good chemicals. And you need to be your own hype person. So I want you to do that. Look at yourself. I'm doing a good job. Actually, talk to yourself in the third person. You're doing a good job. We need to hear that. It's like a little high five. So that is like trick number 1. I need you to do that in the morning to set yourself up. Because what tends to download is all the things we haven't done and what we need to improve on and all this stuff. And that's fine. It's life. I get it. But you need to take that moment. And I want you to do it at bedtime too. So when you're brushing your teeth, I want you to say, I actually wrote this down. I want you to say, I did the best I could today with what I'm learning, with what I know. I'm doing the best I can. And I'm proud of myself for the way I showed up. I did the best I could today with what I'm learning and what I know in this moment. And I'm going to put it down for the night, and I'm going to sleep, and I'm going to wake up, and I'm going to learn some more. So it's just that kind of like to turn your brain down so that you can go to sleep. You just kind of put it to bed. I did the best I could today with what I had. And tomorrow's a new day, and I'm proud of myself. And then I want you to try this. Take a deep breath in blow it all the way out. It's like just a purge, like a cleansing purge. And then I just want you to think of 3 good things that happened that day. And you might have a library of all the things that maybe didn't go the way you wanted them to. But I want you to find 3 good things, even if it's like, I got a good seat next to someone awesome, or I like contributed in class, or maybe it's just getting up and showing up. But you need to train yourself to think of what you did well. And I know you guys know this, but this is my reminder video. 3 good things. 3, that's it. I've been in such a deep hole before that all I did was send 1 email. 1. That's all I could do the whole day. And I congratulated myself for sending 1 email and just knowing that it was like sending it out and creating a little spark, and the rest of the day I couldn't do much, but I congratulated myself for showing up for that. So it can be the littlest thing, but I want you guys to 3 good things. It just becomes a habit. And you're your own chemist. So when you think of that, it spritzes like a little dopamine into your chemical makeup of your brain, and it's so good for you, and it will help set you up for sleep. All right, and this is another nervous system tip, and it's simple. It's a smile. So basically, science shows that when you have a gentle smile on your face, your nervous system, your brain, and that nervous system will take cues from the muscles of your body. And the muscles that smile your face indicate to your brain and your neurotransmitters, like, I think we're good. I think we're doing okay. So it starts to regulate your nervous system. It starts to kind of calm your breathing and, tell your system, like, I guess we've got this. So I like that. It's just a little quick hack, but also true. Because when you put that little smile on your face, it's coming from a place of deep down just knowing that you've got it. And again, when your body and your muscles, including your face muscles, are letting your nervous system know we're smiling, so we must be okay, you are. And the whole thing just kind of creates this chain reaction of good energy, sort of openness. Also, the other thing that goes on scientifically is that when you're smiling, people that see you around you have that mirror neuron reaction. So it's contagious. They automatically kind of like mimic it. And it's sort of funny because it leads people to wonder, like, I wonder what she's got going on. I wonder what's happening. It's sort of how I feel when I wear ballsy, like I have a little secret. So give it a smile and watch what happens. All right, here's your next trick. So if you notice that you're feeling maybe excited or anxious or whatever's happening that's making you sort of shorten your breath, and maybe you just need to de-stress and you just kind of need to let go. Hopefully you guys aren't feeling like, wow, I have to be perfect and you're trying so hard. If you're getting into the trying too hard mode, this might be a good quick tip for you. So grab your ball that I gave you, your big smushy yoga ball, and just sit on it. So maybe you're on your bed, maybe you're on a chair, whatever, wherever you are. You're just gonna sit on it. If you're sitting up on a chair, your feet are down, grounded on the floor. I'm sitting on the floor, so I'm just sitting cross-legged, but whatever feels comfortable to you guys. And you're gonna open your sits bones, and this is gonna be about releasing your pelvic floor. And the reason that's important is because when we're tense, when we're nervous, excited, triggered, whatever it is that's activating us, we shorten our breath and we kind of lose that connection with our body. So sitting on this yoga ball and moving around on it actually helps release those muscles that get so tense. They tend to mirror our nervous system. So sitting on this is just a good way to release. It actually helps your back muscles. It helps all the things that tighten when we're anxious. So inhale into your nose, feel the breath go all the way down the back of your throat, and imagine you're blowing up the ball with your breath. So this way you're not chopping your breath off at your ribs or even at your belly. You're going past the belly all the way down to your pelvic floor. And when you exhale, we're not going to contract on this one. We're just going to exhale and let go. We're just gonna feel that release around the sits bones up inside of us. We hold so much tension in there, and this is a good way to just kind of circle forward and back. You're gonna move like to the front of the pelvic floor, to the back of the pelvic floor, and also side to side. We have a right side and a left side. So just circle around without clenching your butt or your hips. And it's like a little massage down there for your good parts. And just see if you can imagine inside of you letting go. We hold on to so much stress. And the last thought on this is our vagus nerve runs right down into our core and sends messages up to our brain on how we're doing. In fact, for us to go into parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and release and de-stress nervous system of letting go, it takes the message from our body up to our brain. So if we're clenching and tight and holding our breath, it's sending a signal to our nervous system that something's not right, that we're stressed. So if you can release the pressure in this area by massaging yourself like this, it sends a message that you're good, that we've got this, that we're letting go, and it will help to calm your system. Give it a shot. Hi, I'm Wendy from Ballsy, and this is a short audio recording to help you find, feel, contract, and release your pelvic floor muscles for optimal inner core vitality. We're going to use the inhale to release the pelvic floor muscles, and we're going to use the exhale to contract the pelvic floor muscles. And using Ballsy creates this great anchor between your brain and your body. Your body needs to be able to talk to your brain as much as your brain talks to your body. And this is just that great anchor point right into your core power. You can think of your body as having these great domes in it. For example, the arches of your feet have these domes that arch up. The pelvic floor is a dome that arches up, as is your diaphragm, and also the roof of your mouth. So as you inhale, those domes sort of expand and open, and as you exhale, you can sort of dome up, lifting through your whole body. Another great visual when you're thinking about your pelvic floor is to imagine it as this trampoline type of ground floor, this foundational base to your house. And it's made of muscle and energy and fascia, and it's elastic and pliable, almost like a bouncy house would feel. Instead of, you wouldn't really want to walk into a concrete, dark, metal, rigid place and jump around. You want to walk into this elastic, sort of pliable, soft, yet really strong base to move and jump around from this platform. And so if you think about the bouncy house metaphor, there's an elevator going from that base of your pelvic floor bouncy house all the way up to the top of your head into your brain. And so the pelvic floor bouncy house is really sort of this command center of your body that collects information from your core, from your gut. I mean, it's essentially holding up all your internal organs. So it's collecting information, sending it up the elevator via the vagus nerve to your brain. And that whole communication system is what regulates your nervous system. And if you think about the elevator and using Ballsy, when you put your ball in, it's strengthening the base floor of your house, of your foundation. And you put Ballsy in, and you're going to exhale, hug the ball, and lift it up the elevator. And as you inhale, you're releasing the muscles around that ball. And maybe you'll feel it, or maybe it's just a sensation of like lowering the ball all the way down to the base floor of your pelvic floor. So inhale releases it, exhale hugs the ball and lifts it. And just like an elevator in a building, you don't want it to get stuck at the top floor, and you don't want it to get stuck at the bottom or anywhere in the middle. You want that elevator to run fluidly from top to bottom, from bottom to top. It operates on breath and fascia and muscle and strength, and also letting go. So all of it is critical to the whole system of your body. So when you use Ballsy, think about the elevator metaphor, hugging and lifting as you exhale, inhale, letting go. You can also think of your pelvic floor as a flower. And as you inhale, that flower blooms open. And as you exhale, you wrap up that flower and lift it up inside of you like a rosebud. We're going to do 4 sets of inhales and exhales, releasing and contracting your pelvic floor muscles around ballsy. Let's try to get the breath between 4 and 6 seconds on the in and the out. Remember as we do this that the real win with ballsy is just awareness. So dial your mindset to curiosity and notice what's going on in there. You have these amazing muscles from the front to the back, from your pubic bone to your tailbone, and they also come in from the side. And these muscles have so much potential for vitality. Everything from helping you with incontinence to stability, to regulating your nervous system, to helping your back stop hurting, to helping your posture get better, and just connecting into your power. So let's go. Make sure you have your ball inside of you. You're lying on your back. It's nice to have your knees bent to keep your pelvis in a nice neutral position, meaning your back isn't overly arched. It's also not pressing into the floor. As you do these exercises, notice that your pelvis isn't moving. If you're feeling your butt clench or your quads tighten or your back move, it means you're using more than your pelvic floor. And the goal of this exercise is to just use your pelvic floor and separate out those big muscles. Let them relax. Take a nice breath on your own to set yourself up to start. Inhale in your nose. Exhale, blow it all the way out of your nose and your mouth. I'm going to count this breath out for you to 6 count. I'll cue it and count it. And if your breath falls short or longer, don't worry, just notice. Here we go. Inhale, release your pelvic floor. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, all the way out and hug up. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, release your sits bones. Open up. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, follow that breath out. Hug the ball. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, release the muscles around the ball. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, follow that breath all the way out. Hug, lift, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, release. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, hug, lift, blow, hug. 3, 2, 1. Release. Take a moment to just notice. You can always try a few more of those on your own to your own breath count. But this is a great exercise to do really anywhere or anytime. You just feel like you need to get inside your body and center yourself and just feel your own connections. Thanks for being ballsy. This is a short guided audio to help you relax and release your deep core muscles and pelvic floor. So first, go ahead and find a place to lay down on your back. Maybe put a pillow under your knees so they can just totally relax but be bent. And it puts your pelvis and your back in a nice neutral position that you can really just melt into. So I'm going to start out by explaining the visual and purpose of your pelvic floor so you can really feel into it, and it will help you be able to let go of those muscles as well as contract. This audio will just be about letting go and using breath work and awareness to do that. So your pelvic floor muscles are this amazing hammock of muscles that run from your pubic bone to your tailbone. And they also come in from the side. And you can almost visualize them a few ways, like one kind of like a trampoline of muscle or muscles, because there's different fibers and different angles that they come in from, or a flower that is blooming open. And when you're contracted and lifted up, that flower is kind of like a rosebud pulling up. Or you could think about it kind of like a hammock
but we do want to have the visual of muscle fibers coming in from the side as well. So these muscles can either be too taut, like too tight to where they really have a hard time releasing, or they can be too loose. So either way can be functionally weaker. We want to have the ideal pelvic floor is toned and it can release completely as well as contract. And when you do this, these muscles hold up all of your internal organs. So being able to contract and release just leaves sort of health and vitality in this whole area that is so important. So if you are overly tight in there, we're going to use your breath to help release it. And you may find that if you have any kind of struggle with back pain or incontinence or anxiety or stability in your body or your lower ab connection, all of these things can be affected if your muscles are too tight and can't let go, or too loose and can't contract as well. So we're going to work on both of those. But this one is just for letting go. So now we're going to add the breath to that visual. We're going to start out with 2 just good full breaths in and out, just to completely let go of your body and melt in. So inhale to a count of 4 through your nose. Pause at the top of that inhale for 2 seconds, and then exhale to a count of 4. And just sit at the bottom of that exhale for a moment, just a moment, and then do it again. Inhale in your nose, feel your lungs build up, feel the air come into your belly. Pause at the top of that, and then exhale, blow it all the way out. Feel the air blow all the way out, not just to your chest, but all the way down into your pelvic floor. And then just take some normal breaths here. So, the reason the pelvic floor is so connected to the breath is without conscious breathing, it's really difficult to connect down to that pelvic floor. And a lot of times when we are busy, anxious, stressed, sometimes even excited, we chop off our breath at our ribs. And it really never makes it down to our pelvic floor. And the reason this is important is because when you breathe, you're using your diaphragm as a muscle to move air in and out. So when you inhale, that diaphragm is like a dome. And as you inhale, that dome of your diaphragm pushes down and is connected through fascia to your pelvic floor. I'll say that again. So when you inhale, and your belly fills up and your lungs fill up, you can kind of feel that diaphragm. That diaphragm pushes down. It then kind of domes open your pelvic floor muscles. It pushes them down just a little bit. It's not as much of a push as it is an expansion because you need to get the air in. And when you exhale, especially during movement, that diaphragm comes up to allow your core muscles to be able to wrap in. So the breath is deeply connected to your pelvic floor. For this recording, we're going to use your inhale and your exhale to release. So let's try it. Inhale again to a count of 6. And as you're inhaling, I want you to picture that pelvic floor area, the trampoline, the flower, like blooming open. And as you exhale, I want you to just really let go of everything. So just relax that effort of the blooming, relax your shoulders, relax your neck, relax your throat, let it all go. And on the next inhale, again, think about come down into that pelvic floor with your mind. Inhale, expand, open. It expands out to the side. And that expansion isn't a push, it's just at the brink of a push. And see if you can just notice some space in there. It might be hard to let go of. Exhale, release all of that. Blow it all the way out. See if on the next inhale you can get the air down a little bit lower into your belly. Feel how that pelvic floor is attached to your sits bones and up to your pubic bones. So feel that if it's a flower of muscle, bloom it open to the sides, to the front, to the back. Again, you're not bearing down, but you're just on the brink of a push of those muscles. More expansion. Exhale, let it all go. And your next conscious inhale, again, see if your breath can get a little bit longer. See if you can reach that count of 6 and just feel the expansion, the blooming, the opening, all the way up inside your spine, to the side, to the front, to the back. Exhale, let it all go. What's interesting is if we tend to live with some tension, those muscles really respond to that, because with tension, we shorten our breathing. And when we shorten our breathing, that diaphragm isn't moving up and down. It's connected to our pelvic floor through the fascia. And so that pelvic floor is almost kind of getting really grippy and taut. The other things that you might notice is when we hold on to that tension in there, again, all kinds of things can be affected, from incontinence to sexual wellness. The definition of an orgasm is to be able to contract and release. And when we're just held in contraction, it's really hard to achieve that kind of pleasure as well. It all relates mentally and physically. So next time you need to let go, really practice like coming inside your core, inside your body. Inhale and exhale to let go. There'll be another audio about how to use your exhale during movement to contract those muscles. The inhale always adds a little bit of a release, because it's hard to pull your belly button in and draw up from the inside when there's air in there. Now pay attention to what you notice on the inside. Can you feel a sense of calm? Maybe a little spark of something in there. Instead of kind of feeling grippy, that release might help you tap into that deeper chakra of creativity, playfulness, and sexuality, groundedness. This is one great way to come into your body instead of spinning in your mind and gripping in your body. So pay attention to what you feel and what you notice. Does your back feel looser from the inside? Can you feel your hip bones from the inside? Maybe feel a little bit wider so you're not pinching and gripping. Pay attention to what you notice and see if you can take it into your day. Thanks for listening.
All right, girls, here's another favorite breathing tip that helps you calm down in the moment that I love. It's called alternate nostril breathing, and I'm going to read the benefits. So first off, it reduces stress and anxiety. It lowers your heart rate and blood pressure, improves lung function and breathing, enhances focus and concentration. So it's always a good thing to do before you hit class or a test or whatever. Balances the nervous system, always a great thing to be able to regulate. And they say that it improves brain function. So studies say it positively impacts motor function, memory, and other brain activities. So here we go. Gwen, you're going to use your thumb to block your right nostril, and you'll just use your ring finger to block your left. And you're going to start with a full exhale out. And you're going to block your right nostril and inhale into your left. Pause at the top, and you're going to release the right and block the left, and exhale out of the right. Inhale back up the right. Pause at the top, switch nostrils, block your right, Exhale out of your left. Inhale back into the left. Switch nostrils. Exhale out of the right. Inhale back into the right. Switch. Exhale out of the left. You can do that as much as you want. It is a great tool in the toolbox for regulating yourself. Okay, I really like this tip because sometimes we're in the moment and something triggers us and we start feeling ourselves go into that sympathetic nervous system, and it's kind of an immediate like, oh crap moment. I don't know, maybe we're standing up, we're doing a presentation or whatever it is. Something's making us nervous, and if you need to reset immediately, there's something called the physiological sigh, and you can do it right in the moment. And I have to do it all the time. And it's basically a double inhale and an exhale. So this is how it goes. Wherever you are in the moment, you're gonna take a huge breath into your nose, fill your lungs all the way up, and then you're gonna sip in a second inhale. Just a little bit more. And then you're gonna exhale and empty it all the way out so that your lungs are empty. And it physiologically resets your nervous system and helps you de-stress immediately. So double inhale, full exhale. That is a great tip for your back pocket when you're in the moment in life and you need that. All right, now, if you guys want to try the 130-gram ball, which is also in your gift bag, here's an idea of how to use it. So when you're in the shower in the morning, you can put it in, and I want you to think about it like it's your connection to power. It's your way to feel yourself. So when you put it in, hopefully you notice it in there, and you're gonna just hug that ball up and in. And while you do that, you're thinking like, I am connected to my strength. I'm connected to my deep core. I know how to stand in my power. And then as you inhale, maybe you're releasing the muscles around the ball. So the ball just gives you that neuromuscular feedback so that you can feel yourself and not get too lost in your head. It brings you into your body. It's just an anchor. That's all it is. It's just you knowing yourself. So the inhale releases the muscles around the ball. Maybe the ball will drop out a little bit. And the exhale lifts the ball up. And when you put the ball in, you have to inhale to release, almost like you're blooming open those muscles. And as you exhale, you're hugging them up and in, and you're just feeling that sense of self. So that is just you owning your body, feeling yourself, connecting into those muscles. That's it. After the shower, you take it out. If it falls out in the shower, no big deal. What I notice is when I'm stressed, I'm not breathing very well, and my ball like pushes out a lot because I'm like holding my breath and pushing. So for me, it's just like a little curious like feedback of like, oh yeah, I need to come into my body and lift up. And even if it's just like put it in for 3 breaths, no big deal. And obviously, if you don't feel like it, don't. But it is just a way to start feeling that center of your body. So that is also in your gift bag. And it's just one easy way to use it. And again, even if you don't use it, maybe just seeing the box is your reminder of like, oh yeah, lift up. And you don't need the ball to feel yourself. It's just in your gift box if you need it. All right, this is a very, very fast, quick move, breathe, connect to your power, and you're off to the races. So this is just kind of something that I love to do. And I'm like, I have no time today, but I know that I'm a little locked in and just feeling a little stressed. And I just need to breathe and move for like minimal 2 minutes. Here's what you're gonna do. You ready? Take a big breath in. Inhale, arms up. This is a power position that is shown to create a little more of that chemical hormone testosterone. It kind of beefs it up in your body and gives you that little connection to power. Hands through the heart, roll yourself down, forward fold. You're gonna let the back of your head hang down and just turn your head side to side. This is just a good way to get a little bit of blood in your head and just kind of changes your perspective. Go ahead and roll yourself up. Now I want you to feel your feet grounded down. So you just feel the earth. You're grounded, connected to your center. Arms up. One more time, forward fold. And then this time, put your hands down. Go ahead and walk yourself out into downward dog. And just pedal out your feet, spread your fingers wide, press your hands all the way down into the ground, drop your heels, bend your knees, take a big breath in, exhale, glide forward into plank. And then this is just a great moment just to feel strong. Breathe into it. Inhale, exhale, step your right foot forward, drop your left knee down, bring your arms up. Every time you're in this position, arms up position, it's a power pose. Bring your hands to your heart, get one twist to the right. So you're just wringing yourself out. This is a really good kind of detox moment. Bring your hands back down and then come all the way to the floor. Stretch your heart forward. This is if you've been on your computer. It's nice to kind of peel your collarbones open, stretch the front of your neck, and then push back into child's pose. You're halfway done. Go ahead and curl your toes forward, stretch your feet, downward facing dog again. Press out through the arms, just get like a stretch all the way through your whole body. Take a breath in, glide forward like it's like an ocean wave through your body of energy. Come forward into plank in your power. Step your left foot forward, drop your right knee down. Inhale, arms up. This is always the power posture right here. It's arms up. And even when you're not walking around campus with your arms up, you can have the energy of arms up. And then bring your hands to your chest and then go ahead and get a little twist. Come back to center, step back into plank, pull yourself down, heart up. Child's pose. Curl your toes under, walk your hands back towards your feet, and roll yourself up. And you will be amazed at just what that will do for you. I promise. So you can keep that little routine in your head if you need a quick hit. Never underestimate the power of just a couple moments of breath and movement. Okay, here we go. Let's do some deep ballsy core. I love this work because not only does it connect you into your power and ground you and just help you feel embodied, but it is just that reminder of how to connect into your pelvic floor and integrate it into all that you do. This is a reminder of how to do your core work correctly, how to activate. If it's a day you're wearing ballsy, as always, you're using it as this feedback tool and maybe this neuromuscular anchor into your center that you can either use it to hug or you can use it to make sure you're releasing. Sometimes it's hard to know if we're doing things correctly, but with ballsy in, you get that instant feedback. So here we go. All right. We are going to start seated with your legs out long. We're going to cross the right leg over the left. And just sitting here, I want you to put your hands next to your hips and traction up your spine. You're going to press down with the right leg and start to curl your pelvis back. As you press down with the right leg, you are thinking about lifting up with the left leg. So you can make this movement as big or small as you want, as long as you start from the inside. So here we go. Inhale. And on the exhale, start by lifting up into that ball. Hug your ballsy up and imagine you're kind of rolling it in towards the back of your spine. And you're going to go back to just behind your pelvis. And instead of moving your shoulders back, you're just tipping and rolling your pelvis and feeling like, again, that that ballsy is rolling inside your spine. And right here, you should start to feel that burn building. Make sure you soften the back of the throat, and let's tune into the breath here. So inhale into the sides of the ribs, and as you exhale, hug that ballsy up and back, and then you can let the rest of your ab muscles wrap on top of it. And just a system check here. Let's move up a little bit and back a little bit, and you're moving from inside your pelvis. If you feel your abs bulging out at all, then you're pushing down too much. You need to think about lifting up and back and in and breathing. You shouldn't lose your breath while you're doing this. If you do, it's a little bit too much intra-abdominal pressure. So let's go a little further back. Lift your arms up a little higher. You should be in it right now. If you feel grippy, breathe, exhale, hug in, and slowly roll back. See if you can notice the back of the throat, because the fascia through your body is connected all the way down from your throat, through your diaphragm, all the way down to your pelvic floor. So it matters how we're moving in all parts of the body. So in this position, you're still going to keep your right leg crossed over for now, and then we'll switch. But I want you to inhale and think about releasing that pelvic floor. Think about all those muscles expanding down there, not pushing, but just releasing and opening between your sits bones. And then as you exhale, I want you to hug that ball up and then start to hug that right leg on top of the left. Create a lot of energy and let it come up and in and pull you over. So there's your pulley system. We're gonna do 3 more, so 5 total. As you exhale out of the back of the throat, you're hugging that ball up and in, no crunching, and you're laying down that spine like it's a string of pearls. Inhale as your arms come over. Exhale, hug up inside of you, press that leg down. Think about lifting that left leg up into the right leg, and notice if that activates those deep abs more. You shouldn't feel them pushing out, so really pay attention to that. If this is your 5th one, or you're already there, just meet us slowly on the way to the floor. Good job. Inhale, release. We're gonna roll up together on this one. Hug in. One more time. Hug up the back, scoop your abs in, and roll up. See how smooth you can make it. All right, we're gonna do 5 with the other cross. So let's take the left leg over the right. You're gonna press down with that left leg, press up, lift up with that right. Both legs are lengthening long through the fascia. Arms float up a little bit. Make sure you're not crunching down. Inhale, exhale, hug in a little deeper. Let it roll you back a little bit more. Let's just move a little bit right here into this burn. Remember, we're not, we're scooping in, lifting up, scooping in, floating up. You should feel that, hugging that ball like up inside the back of your spine, the inside of your spine. Slowly roll down. Inhale. Now on this side, let's release here. So as you inhale, think about those pelvic floor muscles expanding, releasing, opening. And then as you exhale, hug from the pelvic floor first, not the top outer muscles, but up inside of you. And then feel how that draws in that transversus muscle, and then you can roll yourself up. 5 total. See if you can play with that muscle energy that the legs are adding to this. So you're pressing down while you're lifting up and lengthening out and rolling down. When you get to your 5th one, you're gonna roll yourself up really slowly. As you keep pressing up through that right leg, notice if it levers into those low abs. So once you've got your 5th one, you're gonna come up, stretch over those legs, uncross, take another breath in, and then let's roll down with the legs parallel this time. Slowly roll back. Try not to pull your heels with you. Try to lengthen out of your legs as you hug that ball in. You're gonna feel it scoop in, kind of lifting up like an elevator inside of you. And then bring your hands behind your head. And then go ahead and press your head back into your hands. So you're gonna create some more muscle energy like this. Head presses back, abs draw in. Now you're gonna try to let your abs lift your head. So you're just isometrically creating all this energy in your lower abs. You're gonna feel them draw in, hug ballsy, and then let your head and shoulders roll up. Everything starts here. It's that pulley system. All right, so without moving your pelvis, let's float your knees up in the air. And we're gonna do some slow motion bicycles. So the right leg goes long, left elbow towards right knee. We're just gonna alternate really slowly here. Notice your breath. If the breath gets too short, it tends to crunch our ribs. So see if you can feel how that breath connects all the way down into that pelvic floor. You may not be able to breathe as much into your belly when you're using your core muscles, but you can breathe laterally into your ribs and still lift up internally. Okay, now rotate to the right and take the left arm to the outside and press into that leg. Let that leg press back. Open the left leg out to the side. See if you can take ballsy and sort of hug it into that left side of your pelvis over there. Now from here, you're gonna take the right leg up, reach the left arm, and we're gonna pulse 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, hug deeper and up. 1, now come back to the center. Let's rotate to the left. From here, you're gonna take the right leg long, open it up 1 inch wider. Now we're gonna start with taking this right arm outside that left leg and pressing and resisting. Keep breathing, and as you do this, notice you're not pushing and bulging, but you're drawing in and lifting up inside of you. So even though we're not holding the breath. The exhale is deeper. 3, 2, 1. Now lift that leg up. We're gonna pulse 5 times. Remember, it's not, you are hugging up inside of you, right up inside that butt cheek. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's keep it rolling. Bend both knees. Roll your head and shoulders back for a moment. Exhale, bring them back up again. We're gonna curl that pelvis up 10 times. So the same thing with the breath. See if you can notice that breath to a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then roll it down slowly, not to completely release it though. You're gonna stay engaged. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it down slowly. Here we go again. Inhale as you release down. Exhale as you roll up. Right when you get to the bottom of that exhale is where I want that tailbone to come up even more. I want you to scoop the belly button in and lift the femurs up out of the pelvis. 10 reps feels like a long time. Keep going slowly. And when you get to your 10th one, wait for us at the top. I have 3 more. Exhale all the way. Feel the back of the throat. This should be a really good burn, you guys. Curl the tailbone up, lift, lift, lift. If you're already there, here we go. Curl the tailbone up, pelvis up. Now I want you to point your knees to the right and then point them to the left and then back to the right. And this time you're gonna counter rotate with your upper body. Rotate your left elbow towards your right knee and then switch. Knees over to the left, counter rotate your torso to the right, come back to center. Let's keep going. This is quick hit to the core. Right arm inside that right inner thigh. Take that left leg long, squeeze in, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep squeezing that knee in. 3, 2, 1, switch. Left arm inside left knee, right leg long. Now connect into those abs again. If they're starting to push out, hug ballsy in, belly button in. Here we go. Press that left leg in. Feel that whole inner thigh squeeze in. Both knees in. Take the right leg long again, left leg up. Right fingertips towards left toes. We're just building this burn, you guys. Reach, reach, reach. Switch. Right leg up, left leg out. Reach. Breathe, belly button in. Come back to center. Roll the knees all the way over to the left. Now, we're going to come up and down 10 times on this side. So we're really trying to focus on lifting up inside. Focus on an extra long exhale as you hug in and squeeze. It's almost like wringing out a towel in there. Notice how much everything wraps and hugs and lifts internally with that good exhale. We're going for 10. When you get to your 10th one, you're going to stay up there. I have 3 more. Hug up inside that right butt cheek. Okay, here's my last one. You come up and you hold and breathe. Keep it burning, keep it burning. Come up a little bit more. Let's switch sides. Come on around. Swing the knees over to the right. Rotate the torso up to the ceiling. Hug inside of you. The connection internally is the most important. We have 10 of these. Exhale brings you up. Inhale brings you back. How deep can you feel it, you guys? Can you hug up deeper? Can you lift up a little bit more internally? When you get to that 10th one, these are little moves, but they're deep. Just wait at the top. 2 more. Hold at the top there. Can you get it deeper with your breath? We don't have to add movement, just depth. Exhale. Hug up a little bit more. Come back to center. Stay with it here. We're going to try 5 V-ups. So without too much recovery here, you're going to take an inhale and then exhale, roll yourself up. Let's see if you can reach for the ankles. If you need more challenge, lift your legs up a little bit and reach for the toes. We don't want to crunch though, so the reach is an up, chest towards knees, knees towards chest. That's 1. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach. 2, 3. You're playing with a little balance and stability in there. Go for the pelvic floor first. Lift your ballsy up so it's not as much quads. We're doing 1 more for good measure. Inhale as you go open. Exhale, lift, lift, lift. Both the left side and the right side. Stretch the legs up, lift the spine, and then cross the legs over. Whew, that should give you a pretty good burn there. We're going to come over onto the hands and the knees. And from here, I want to use that core connection immediately in a plank. Let's see if we can use it for stability. So we're going to fire up, hands and knees first. Pull the knees and the hands towards each other to make that core fire. Shift a little bit more forward over the fingertips. Scoop the abs in more. Feel it shake. Good. Release. A couple quick cat-cows, and now we're going to go straight into plank and see if we can use this connection. So heels back, core up and in, pelvic floor core looks zipped up and long and light, as opposed to this, where you're just battling in your body. So let's feel that plank connection. Lengthen through the head, reach back through the heels, breathe. Close your eyes. Can you lift ballsy up into the inside of your spine as opposed to letting it fall out of your belly button here? Lift up more. 3, 2, 1. Drop to the knees. Last thing, let's see if we can connect from the side angle. So come onto the right forearm, and then your legs are going to come up. We're going to come up first to the knees. And I want you to imagine, first bring your head in line with your spine. Make sure you're between two planes of glass. You're not dumped forward here. And I want you to think about that right inside oblique kind of hooking up towards the ceiling. And that'll just level you out. You're not actually rotated hips up, but internally you're feeling that scoop. And that should get you right in that left oblique. So hold here, take a breath in, feel those muscles contract, and then see if you can slide the bottom leg out. That will make it more challenging. Chest open, lift the ballsy up, scoop, and then drop it down. Let's go right to the other side. Okay, come on, that left forearm. Go ahead and lift your hips up. Square out your body. Head is in line with the spine. And I want you to feel that your abs aren't pushing out, that you're drawing them in and up, that inside this left oblique, it's almost like a scoop, like almost like a fish hook up. And that should engage those nice lower abs. Now take that ballsy and lift it up towards your hips so you're not dumping. And if you want that extra challenge, slide that lower leg out long and just really stay connected into those side abs, the way they wrap around, the way you're stabilizing, breathing. 3, 2, 1, and then drop it down. Whew. Go ahead and flip around onto your stomach and you can just stretch it out before you're done here. You can come all the way down. You can stretch your neck out by putting your right ear on the mat first. Take one good exhale at least, and then you can switch and put your left ear on the mat. And then come back to center, bring your hands in line with your shoulders. Peel your chest open and get a good stretch of that, of the core. You can look over your right shoulder, look over your left. And then push back into child's pose. Great job connecting into your core and taking a little bit of time to connect to your power. I hope you use it in everything you're doing. Welcome to Ballsy Core. This is another bite-sized segment, about 10 minutes. I have a friend in the studio here with me, and we're gonna get deep into your core. If it's a day you're wearing ballsy, you're gonna use it to sort of amplify that nice deep pelvic floor connection and how you integrate it into the rest of your core muscles and that functional core work. If it's a day where you're not wearing ballsy, you're just gonna pretend, and you're gonna use that awareness that you've created from using ballsy to put it to work in everything you do. So we're gonna go ahead and start on our hands and our knees. So come on to the hands and the knees, shoulder width apart, hip width apart. And then curl your toes forward and lift right up into downward dog. And you're gonna just puddle out those feet, reach up and back through those sits bones, and then go ahead and glide forward into plank. Exhale, reach back into downward dog, and then glide forward into plank. And I want you to lift your right leg up and notice your pelvis. We're gonna get right into it here. So if ballsy was a leveler, think about, is it dropping down towards your right hip? Can you lift it up and move it over to the left? And then drop that foot down. Lift your left leg up, notice your pelvis. If you're dumping over to the right, lift the ballsy up inside of you and bring it right up behind your belly button. So you're just bringing that focus more into your core instead of the leg. And then from here, see if you can go ahead and pull all the way to the floor, and then just inhale. Let's get a stretch before we start working on the core. Look over your right shoulder, look over your left, lift your heart, and then go ahead and push back into a quick child's pose. Roll yourself up. Let's swing those legs out in front of you. And then bring your arms right on out and let them float up a little bit above the shoulders. Take a breath in, exhale, hug ballsy up along inside your spine. As you press your legs down, you're gonna just curl that pelvis. Feel your tailbone almost like fish hooking between your legs, and hug ballsy, like it's just rolling each vertebrae down. Take your arms out long, and then bring your hands interlaced behind your head. You're gonna take a nice big breath in, and then exhale, roll up to your shoulder blades. So press your head back into your hands. Make sure you're not pulling up with your head and shoulders. As your head presses back, your abs have to work even harder to scoop and roll you up. So this is your pulley system from the inside. And from here, without moving your pelvis, you're gonna lift your left leg straight up in the air. Rotate your torso over to the left. Inhale back to center. We're doing 5 of these. Exhale, hug ballsy up. And then almost like you're hugging it inside of you, I want you to roll it over to the left so you get a little bit deeper down into that left oblique. Inhale back to center. Exhale, rotate. 2 more. Really feel it coming right from the inside. We're just like building that power base for you. Last one. So rotate, reach the right elbow up a little higher, roll up off that left shoulder. And then from here, I want you to take your left hand to your hamstring and lift up a little bit higher. See if you can stay that high and bring your hand behind your head. Whew. Float the right leg up. Reach your right fingertips up towards that left foot and pulse 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're building a burn. Good. Slowly lower both legs down, head and shoulders roll back, centered again. Exhale. Use your pulley system to roll yourself up again. You're pressing your head back into your hands. Now, without moving your pelvis, keep it really anchored. Float the right leg up. And we're gonna rotate 5 times. Inhale back to center. Feel your sits bones open, but you're hugging ballsy up inside of you. 4 more. Exhale, rotate. Inhale to center. Hug behind your belly button and roll that ball over to the right. Remember, you're pressing back into your head the whole time. On that 5th one, you're gonna stay in rotation. Lift up a little bit more. Take your right hand behind your hamstring and float yourself up a little bit higher. And then hugging that belly button in, float the left leg up. Now from here, you're gonna take your left fingertips towards your right foot, pulse 5 times. Here we go. 5, 4. It's coming from your core. And then come back to center. Lower your legs down, lower your head and shoulders back. Okay, from here, inhale, bring your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, hug inside of you and roll yourself up. You should already feel that work in your core. Stretch over your legs, slowly roll back. We're working in 5s today. So there's 1, 2, up and over. You want to see if you can keep that breath going the whole time. So exhale, curl your tailbone, roll down, inhale. Exhale, it starts from the pelvic floor like a pulley system and rolls you right up. Make sure you're not losing your breath. I'm gonna do 2 more. When you get to the 5th one, we're gonna stop halfway back or halfway up. Really see if you can notice that articulation. So as your legs press down, ballsy is sort of like a rolling pin up your spine. Okay, last one. You're coming all the way up, and then we're coming halfway back. So from here, I want you to see if you can lift your right leg up, and then without moving or yanking on anything, arms long, lift your left leg up. We're playing with a little bit of that stability in there. And then lower your legs a little, and then lift them, and then a little. Keep that belly button pulled in. Keep hugging in that ballsy, and then lower the legs all the way down and roll yourself back. Stretch through those arms. All right, interlace the hands behind the head. We're just like working in these little chunks here. Bring the knees up. And then again, head presses in hands, roll up to the shoulder blades, curl your pelvis up and down 5 times. You're thinking about hugging in and curling that tailbone up. We're really working in that low ab area between your belly button and your pubic bone. When you get to your 5th one, roll up your pelvis and hold there. Notice we're not swinging, we're just scooping from the inside. And then point your knees over to the right, and then point your knees to the left. So imagine this isn't coming from your knees, this is coming from the inside, behind your belly button. Hug the ball, spin your pelvis right, spin your pelvis left. One more in each direction. Okay, now we're gonna roll your pelvis onto that right butt cheek here. You're still a little bit curled up. And I want you to take your left leg out. And that should be hard because you're trying to curl your pelvis up as that leg goes out. The right knee is just bent, so we're in an awkward position. But I want you to be kind of resting on that right butt cheek. Now, stretch that right leg out and let it hover right over the floor. So you're in this sort of sideways V here. And you're gonna take your right arm and reach it up towards your left toes. Curl your pelvis up. Both sits bones are trying to curl up. And as you reach up a little bit higher, see if you can lift that lower leg. You just start to feel that inner thigh and that right oblique. 5, 4, feel like you're hugging ballsy up the back of your pelvic floor. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Bend the knees, and we're gonna roll the pelvis right back up again, and you're gonna tip your pelvis over to the left. So I'm giving you these weird angles because it just hits your core deeper and a little bit differently. And hugging that ball in helps you have to stabilize it depending on what position you're in. So we're over on that, little bit on that left butt cheek, and curl your pelvis up. Take your right leg out first. Now this should start to light up your right oblique. And then from here, you're gonna take your left leg out. It's gonna hover over the floor. You're a little bit angled to the left here. Now take your left fingers up towards your right foot. Whew, and lift up. Here comes 5. So as you come up a little bit higher, your lower leg lifts up. 4, 3, 2, you should feel that right oblique. And the left one, 1, come back to center, stretch your legs long, roll your head back. So again, just feeling like front, middle, back of the pelvic floor and how you can use that feeling of ballsy inside of you to organize your pelvis no matter which angle you're tipping at. All right, inhale, exhale, roll yourself up. And then we're gonna finish this one with a little bit of a lift. So with ballsy inside of you, you're thinking about that like an elevator, like you're lifting it up inside your spine. Let's put your hands down by your hips. You can use fists, you can use fingertips, whatever you want. And you're gonna take a breath in, and on the exhale, hug ballsy up inside of you, lean forward a little bit, and see if you can float your feet off the floor. And then lower down. So it's a different angle at the abs. It's like whoosh, that elevator lift. It's the same lift that you want to draw upon when you need to kind of rise up in life. Like when something's bothering you and you're feeling squished and crunched and unsure, you want to whoosh, feel that elevator of hope, confidence, power, strength from your pelvic floor up. Let's recross the legs if you haven't. And then hands down again, whichever position you want. Take a breath in. Exhale, blow that air out as you hug up inside of you. Lift, lift, lift. Woo, float those feet. And then lower down. Go ahead and stretch forward. All right, we're gonna come back on the hands and the knees. We're gonna kind of end the way we started. This time in plank, we're gonna see if we can use ballsy to level out and stabilize so we can lift opposite arm and leg. So come right into plank. And then you're gonna start with your left leg up. So level out that pelvis. Take a breath in. Zip up inside of you. Hug that ball. Get light on the hands and the toes. And then take that right arm long. And then bring it down. Push back into downward dog for a moment. Let's try the other side. Go ahead and glide forward. All right. This time your right leg lifts up. And just notice what's going on inside of you. Is your pelvis dumping to one side? Level it out. Get light off the floor. And take your left arm long. Woo. This side's a little different. Use your ball to find your balance. And then go ahead and push back into downward dog. And drop the knees and come back to child's pose. Take a nice big breath in and then blow it out. Melt into your body. And there it is. It doesn't take much to connect to your power. All your strength is right inside of you. This is a reminder to activate it when you need it. Thanks for joining. Hi, it's Wendy from Ballsy, and I'm excited about this video because I put together a quick workout sequence of 15 exercises, and you're gonna hit your whole body. We're gonna activate all the muscles in your body. And of course, my favorite, like firing up your deep core. So what the challenge is on this is to put your Ballsy in and wear it during this whole sequence. And what we're gonna get curious about is how you're using your core functionally. And we notice this in squats, lunges, sometimes plank. Anytime it gets a little bit difficult, we tend sometimes to hold our breath and push. So your ball is an immediate feedback tool for this. So we're gonna just get curious about this and notice, how's your breathing? How are you doing when you're actually doing hard moves? Are you breathing? Are you lifting? And from there, we're gonna really start to learn to use our core even better. Here we go. 15 exercises. We're gonna try to go from one thing to the next. 30 seconds. This first one is hip openers. So we're in. As you lift your knee up and circle it around, make sure you're lifting that Ballsy up inside of you and trying not to shift too much with your torso. You're just lifting up, lift that ball up inside of you like an elevator and circle that leg around. You got 10 seconds left. Make sure you're breathing up through your nose, pressing down through the ground, getting long. Good. Shake it out. The next one, we're gonna sumo squat, touch the floor and lift up. Here we go. Touch the floor and press up. Down, up. Good. If you want to add a little more challenge to this, you can add a little hop. And maybe you'll notice what's going on with your pelvic floor. Inhale, exhale. No pushing down onto that pelvic floor. You are staying lifted and connected. Last 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake it out. We're gonna go right into lunges. 30 seconds on each side. We're gonna start with your right leg forward, left foot back. Here we go. Drop it down and up. It's good. 90 degrees and 90 degrees, front and back. So you'll come down, lift that ball up inside of you. Inhale as you come down, exhale up. Make sure that knee doesn't drop in or out, and just feel it really deep in your quad, but also like up underneath your glute. Last 3, 2, 1. Let's switch to the other side. Left foot forward, right foot back. Here we go. Inhale as you go down, exhale as you go up. I want you to see if you can keep your sits bones open and keep hugging that ball up inside of you. Even when you're going down, you're lifting up. That's the magic. You're not pushing. Everything has a lift. Feel it up inside that butt cheek on that left side. 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake it out. This next one should get your heart rate going a little bit. It's butt kicks. Here we go, 30 seconds. See if you can kick your own butt. So flex that hamstring like a hamstring curl. Pull that heel to the butt. Keep lifting that ballsy up inside of you. You can add a little bit more challenge by adding a bit of a squat to it. See if we can get a little buzz on that heart going here. Inhale, exhale. Every time you come down, you're still lifting up. Last 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're gonna come down to the floor, and this next one, we're gonna do 30 seconds of push-ups. You can do them on your knees, you can do them on your hands. You can also just hold a plank. Up to you, here we go. If this is hard on your wrists, you can always just hold a forearm plank, so you have lots of options. See if you can hug ballsy up towards your spine, drawing your belly button in. So when you come down, you're not dumping your spine. You got 10 seconds. Really hug that ball up inside of you. Pull your belly button to your spine. It helps keep that body super stable so it's easier to push. Good job, you guys. Okay, now this next one, you're gonna stand your hands and your knees here, and we're gonna go into 30 seconds of butt kicks. So we'll start with the left leg, and you're just gonna press that heel up to the ceiling. Again, using that pelvic floor and the core to stabilize. If you look at your right leg, it's perpendicular to the floor. You're not leaning to the right. So if you feel your hips leaning, kind of hug that ball and move it over to the left. You're really trying to activate that under that glute. All right, let's switch right into the right side. Again, equal weight under each hand. Feel those ribs wrap. Feel yourself hugging that ball up inside of you. Take a look at that left leg. It's straight up and down. And you're just trying to put a heel stamp on the ceiling. Last 5 seconds. Good job. Shake it out. We're gonna come right onto the forearm and the right knee for side planks. So you can do it from your forearms or your knee, or you can come all the way up to the hand and the feet. Your call. Here we go. 30 seconds of hip dips. You can also just hold. Dipping is a little bit more advanced. Now let's cue up ballsy for you. So if the ball is hugging down towards your right side, you're gonna lift it up towards the left side. You're gonna really feel how you're using that pelvic floor in your side plank. 5 more seconds. Breathe. Inhale down, exhale, up. Good, let's switch sides. So same thing, forearm, hand, knee, foot. You pick. Here we go. Again, hips dip, and then lift up from the inside. Keep your head in line with your shoulders like you're between 2 planes of glass. As that ball, you're hugging that ballsy up inside of you and lifting it up towards the ceiling from the inside. You're not just flinging yourself around. Last 3, 2, 1. Good job. Let's come up to standing. We'll get that heart rate going a little bit again. Here's your choice. You can either step side to side, or you can add a little hop. So 30 seconds. This one gets really interesting if you have with ballsy inside of you. So you wanna make sure you're not, you're lifting up. You're landing light on the feet. You can add a little twist. See if you can twist by hugging that ball up and moving it from side to side. This is really something we lose as we get older, is that ability to move like this, just to add these little jumps. See if you can feel your feet like little trampolines. Last 3, 2, 1. What did you notice on that one? This next one, now that your heart rate is just buzzing a little bit, we're gonna try balance. You have to really come into your core. We're gonna stand on your right leg first, and you're gonna hinge forward in yoga. This is a warrior 3, and then you're gonna come up knee to chest. So pull it up, send it back. Here we go, 30 seconds. Go back, see if you can focus on hugging that ball up inside of you. You can always tap the ground and then go back, tap the ground as you come forward. See how lifted and stable you can be through your core. Inhale, watch your breath. If you hold your breath, you can tell that ball starts to push out. Relax your foot, lift all the way up inside that glute. Last one here on this side. Feel yourself stand in your power. It's so good. All right, here we go. Inhale, exhale, hug up, stand on that left leg. Right leg goes back, and then the knee comes up. See if you can just notice. Be curious. How long can you be? Can you lengthen up through that fascia in your body? And you feel those glutes fire to help stabilize you. Lift that ball up inside of you. Last 3, 2, 1. Good job. It takes practice. Modify as you need to. This one is sumo punches. So come into this plie position, and we're just gonna punch for 30 seconds. If you have weights you wanna grab nearby, go for it. Otherwise, we're punching. And what I want you to use ballsy for inside of you is as you're rotating, you're kind of feeling that hugging of the ball, like you're spinning it inside of you to rotate. So you're not yanking on your shoulders. It's coming from the inside. Stay low, stay buoyant and pliable so you're not gripping and holding your breath. Last 3, 2, 1. Good job, shake it out. This next one is standing core. So you have a choice. You can kick and touch fingers to toes. It's a little bit more, I think, advanced to go elbow to knee. Here we go, 30 seconds. See if you can feel that core really engage, lift up through that ballsy. You might notice something here. If you're pushing down, you're gonna feel that ball push. So keep lifting up inside of you. It's gonna help you balance on that one leg too. You should not feel this in any sore way in your back. You should be pulling from your abs. Kind of feeling rib to knee. Last one here. And then we're gonna go right into air squats. So if you wanna be a little more challenged with it, you can add a little hop at the top here. 20 seconds. Check in with your breathing. Are you lifting? Are you hugging up inside of you? Good job, you guys. Here we go. How light can you land? 3, 2, 1. Good job. Shake it out. Let's come to the floor. You're going to come into this reverse table position. Face your fingers forward. If that's too much on your wrists to lift your hips up, you can spiral your hands out. Modify as needed. Here we go. 30 seconds. You can either hold in this position, feel your glutes and hamstrings, or add some movement to it. As you bend your elbows when you come down, you're also going to pull in some triceps, a little bonus. Use your glutes to lift up. Inhale down, exhale, hug that ballsy up inside of you. Think about hugging that ball kind of into the back of your pelvic floor. Keep all 4 corners of your feet down. Let your collarbones open as you come up and squeeze those triceps. 5 seconds. You have a couple bonus reps on this one. I love this one. Hamstrings and glutes and opening up the front of your body. Good job, you guys. Okay, now we're gonna come into a V-sit. 2 more exercises. You can either sit and hold here, or we can add movement to it. So here we go, 30 seconds. If you're adding that V, lift that ballsy up inside of you. Notice there's no top-down crunching. This is all inside up. Inhale, exhale. Make sure you're nice and even on each side of your butt. No pulling with your head. This is like nice deep core pulling you in. Last 2 reps. Good. Okay, roll yourself to the floor. Last 30 seconds, we're doing bicycles. Here we go, hands behind the head. As you rotate, we're gonna go slow for the first half and then pick it up. Keep your hips still. Always hugging that ballsy in right at the most intense part of that twist. It releases a little bit as you rotate and then squeeze into that final moment of the twist. All right, let's go a little bit quicker. Last 10 seconds. Keep pressing your head back into your hands. Keep moving from behind your belly button. You're not just yanking on your head. Last 3, 2, 1. Good job. All right, great job. See what you learned about yourself. See how you move functionally with your core. Give it a try next time and see if it gets a little bit better. Thanks for joining.
Come and take a ballsy walk with me, and you will love how just this little walk with your ballsy inside of you will change the chemistry in your body, the connection to your core, help you move and stand in your power, and just give you a whole new perspective on your day. Here we go. The first thing we're going to do is pick the right weight to walk in today. So you have a 30 gram, a 60 gram, and 90 gram. Coming soon is our new 130 gram ball. But for today, I want you to choose the ball that you can hold at about a 4 out of 10 contraction. So if 0 is no ball and 10 is a max effort to contract and hug that ball and lift it, you want to be walking at about a 4 effort just to hold that ball against gravity. If you find that your 30 gram ball requires you to contract over a 5 perceived effort, don't wear it on this walk. Just listen to the cues and try and contract those muscles without using the ball. In the meantime, put the ball in at home when you're taking a shower, when you're walking around the house, and just see if you can start to build up some strength to where you can wear it out on a walk for 5 or 10 minutes. Now, on the other hand, if you're putting your 90 gram ball in and feeling no perceived effort on it at all, no worries there either. You're just going to know that those muscles are still working. It's still 90 grams inside of you. And you're going to practice using that connection with ballsy to release the muscles and contract and just start to get more resilience and elasticity in those muscles. You're also going to be a good candidate to maybe try the 130 gram ball as soon as that comes out. But again, in the meantime, just know that those muscles are working and that you're doing good stuff for your pelvic floor. All right, let's start this walk. So as we're walking, I'm just going to be talking in your ear and sharing tips and tricks and guiding you through this workout and just setting a new purpose to this walk. We're going to take it to a new level because we're not just walking and getting all the benefits of that. We are also doing a nice deep core workout on the go, which I love. I'm excited. Here we go. The first thing we're going to do as we start this walk is take a nice big breath in, look up, look around, be grateful that you're out here doing it and that you're making a difference in your day. And as you take an inhale, send the breath purposefully into the sides of your ribs and into the back of your ribs instead of sending that air into your belly. When you're exercising and moving and using your core, that's a great time to send the breath laterally into your body as opposed to trying to belly breathe. When you exhale, you're naturally going to be able to hug that ball and lift it up inside you like an elevator. So we're going to use the exhale on the contraction and the inhale to release that ball a little bit. As we are starting out on this walk, I want you to remember why you are doing this. What's in it for you? What are the benefits? And so let me remind you before we do our intervals here of what's happening inside of you. First off, notice your posture and alignment. So already just hugging that ball up inside of you to hold it at baseline, you should feel how your belly button is drawing in, how your spine is a little straighter, and everything is just more aligned. And this is just going to help the way your joints feel. Another huge benefit is if you have any challenges with bladder control, working on these pelvic floor muscles, toning them, practicing contractions and releases is such a huge help towards preventing bladder leaks. And none of us want to be out on a walk or a run or doing anything, laughing, sneezing, and worrying about peeing our pants. So this is a great benefit of wearing Ballsy. You are going to notice that you are much more stable and get more energy out of your movement and power connecting into your pelvic floor like this. Stabilizes your pelvis, allowing all your big muscles to move you more efficiently, more energetically. You'll feel more lift out of your body, and you'll just generally be lighter and more aligned on your feet. Connecting to your pelvic floor and those deep core muscles really helps you connect into your confidence, helps you stand in your power. And one of the added benefits of this is if you have any challenges with moisture inside, wearing Ballsy helps this a lot. Anytime you are bringing muscle activation, there's better blood flow and therefore more moisture. And as far as intimate health and wellness goes, the contractions that we're going to practice today are the same contractions that happen in orgasm. So if you want more amplified pleasure in your intimate life, this is going to do it, because the stronger and more toned those muscles are, the more intense your orgasms and pleasure will be. All right, so now we have some gratitude, some self-awareness, we have purpose, and we have some motivation. And we are going to do 3 different kinds of intervals. One will test some endurance, one will test speed, and one will test the control that you have in those pelvic floor muscles. We're going to start with the endurance one, and we're going to do 2 of each of these kinds. Here we go. For this first interval, we are obviously starting at this baseline of about 4, just holding on to the ball. And on the exhale, we're going to contract to about an 8 effort. And we're going to hold that for 15 seconds, and then we will release back down to that baseline of 4. So take a nice big breath in to just kind of set yourself up. And here we go on the first one. As you exhale, lift that ball like an elevator inside of you, and the clock is on. We're 5 seconds in. So this isn't max contraction, but you're right at about 80%. You have 3, 2, 1, and then go ahead and release. And breathe. So you'll see you can't completely release because you're still holding on to that ball, but just breathe into the ribs. Kind of shake out your shoulders, make sure you're not clenching your face as you do this. And as you practice these contractions, you'll see you shouldn't be clenching your glute muscles or anything. This is just like lifting that ball up like an elevator inside of you. All right, let's do the second one. So again, take a nice little cleansing breath in and out. And let's do the second one. Here we go. On your exhale, contract and lift up to an 8. And just see if you can keep holding it. See if you can notice the back of your pelvic floor a little bit, the middle, the front, without clenching your glutes or your legs. 3, 2, 1. Take a break. And there you have it. You completed the first 2 intervals. Now keep walking and just notice. Check in with your body. See if you can roll through your ankles as you're walking. Check back in with your posture and just notice if parts of your body are clenching or if your breath is shallow. And see if you can just connect into that new sense of awareness and strength. All right, the second set of intervals are going to practice more intense contraction and a quick release. So we're going to see if we can hug that ballsy and lift it all the way to a 9 or a 10 effort and then release it just as quickly. And the release isn't a push. So you're going to practice just sort of like blooming those muscles open around the ball, trying to release it, and then also, again, we'll contract it. We're going to do 5 contract and releases in a row, and then we will recover and then try it again. All right, so you're going to use your exhale to contract up to a 9 or 10 and your inhale to release. And these are quick, and we're going to do 5 of them in a row. Get ready. Take a breath in to start. And here we go. Exhale, hug, hug, hug. Inhale, release. Exhale, contract. Inhale, release. Exhale, contract. Inhale, release. Exhale, contract. Inhale, release. And then take a break. Just kind of check in with yourself. Relax your face, relax your shoulders. These are the contractions that tone those quick twitch muscle fibers in that pelvic floor. And just again, stand tall. Just notice as you're walking, make sure you roll through your feet, that you're not shuffling, that you're lifting up from your ankles all the way through the top of your head. And holding onto that ballsy is like a little inside elevator to lift you up and unload those joints a little bit. All right, we're going to get ready to do the second set of the quick ones. And also, just as we're getting ready to do the second one, know that if you've already tired out those muscles and you feel like you can't hold your ball anymore, no over gripping to hold that ball. Just go ahead and pull it out and put it in the little baggie in your pocket, and you can practice doing these intervals without your ball. Ballsy gives you the awareness and the connection into those muscles, so even when you don't have it in, you can just practice all of these things. All right, here we go. Second round. Take a big breath in, and on that exhale, hug the ball, contract to a 9 or a 10, release. Contract, release. Contract, release. Contract, release. Contract, release. And take a break. Good job. Only 2 more intervals to go. Just breathe and notice. Make sure to look up, look around. Let's enjoy this walk. We're almost done. These last 2 intervals will be working more on control to see if you can contract that pelvic floor and lift ballsy to varying intensity. So we'll go from the baseline up to 7, back down to 5, up to 8, back to 4, up to 9, and then only to 7. And some of these we're going to hold for 5 seconds, and some of them we will hold to 3 seconds. So let's just see how this one feels. We're going to do it 2 times with a break in between. So take a nice big breath in to start. And on the exhale, here we go. You're going to contract up to a 7. And we're going to hold for 3, 2, 1. Now release only to a 5 contraction. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Let's go all the way to 8. Not max, but 8, 3, 2, 1. And then all the way down to 4. So that baseline just for 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All the way to 9. Hug front, middle, and back of that pelvic floor. Hold, hold, hold. 3, 2, 1. Let's go to 7. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take a break. It's going to drop back down to that 4. See if you can still hold on to that ball without any clinching or gripping. and just breathe. Good job. One more and we're finished. Pay attention to what you're noticing inside of you. Are those muscles getting tired? Is it harder to bring that ball to a higher contraction? Is it harder to release without that ball coming out? You're just really trying to be self aware and curious without any kind of judgment on this. Let's do the last one. Here we go. Take a nice big breath in. And as we exhale, let's go up to 7. For 3, 2, 1. Release just a little down to 5. For 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Back up to 8. A little bit higher. 3, 2, 1. Release it down to that baseline. For 3, 2, 1. Here comes the big one. Exhale, lift all the way up to 9. See if you can get a bigger contraction without squeezing your back. 3, 2, 1. Now release only to 7. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Release. Release the muscles around ballsy enough so that you bring it to baseline. And again, we're just noticing here. Maybe the ball came out right at the beginning. Maybe you need to pull it out right now if you still have a bunch more time before you get back. My secret trick is to reach down into the back of my pants, hold on to that loop, and really release those muscles around the ball to let the ball come out. And then I just stick it in that little bag in my pocket. So pay attention to what you're feeling, and great job. Tomorrow, you are not going to wear your ball. You're going to take a nice little break and you're just going to pay attention. And maybe those muscles will feel sore. And oftentimes, it almost feels like if you've ever had period cramps before and they just get a little achy, it's a different kind of sore than our brain is used to, maybe. It's not like a sore butt muscle or leg muscle. It's just a little bit achy. So just know that you work the muscles and they're getting stronger, and you never want to overdo any of this. You never want to force it in or yank it out or, again, have to clinch or hold your breath to hold this ball in. This is a process, and you are going to be so happy with this work you're doing. So thanks for doing a ballsy walk with me, and I'll see you next time.